In this video, we're going to be reviewing prime factorization. Now, first thing we want to understand is what does it mean to be prime and what does it mean to be a factor? Let's actually start with factor first. Now, what a factor is, it's a number that multiplies into another. So say I have 2 times 3 equals 6. The 2 and the 3 are actually my factors. They're two numbers that multiply to get to another. So they are factors of 6. Now, prime means that its only factors are 1 in itself. There's no other factors that multiply into it. So when I try to find the prime factorization of two numbers, what we're doing is we are looking to find the prime numbers that multiply to obtain a given number. So let's see how we could do that. Now, one way to easily get prime factors is using a factor tree. So I'm going to take 120 and I'm going to try to break it up using a factor tree to all the prime numbers that multiply to get to us to 120. So we're going to go ahead and start off by taking 120 and breaking it up into product of two numbers. Excuse me. So what two numbers can multiply to 120? Well, I'm going to say 12 and 10. Now, these aren't prime numbers, so I'm going to keep going until I'm left with only prime numbers. 12 can be broken up into 6 and 2. So I'm going to circle 2. I'm circling 2 because that is a prime number. The only numbers that multiply to 2 are 2 in itself. 1 in itself. So 2 can no longer branch off into any other numbers. 6, though, can. It can break off into 3 and 2, and those are two prime numbers, so I circle them. Now for 10. Now 10 can be broken up into 5 and 2. Now those are two prime numbers, so I circle it. Now I notice there's nothing else I can break this tree up into, so these are my prime factors. Now I like to write them in numerical order, just makes it easier to organize. So we'll have 2 times 2, and you'll notice I'm crossing them out as I go, so I don't lose track of the numbers that I'm using. Times 2, then times 3, then times 5. All right, now this is the prime factorization. If I multiply these numbers up, it will get us 120. Let's think about it. 2 times 2 gets us 4. Times another 2 is 8. Times another 3 is 24. And then 24 times 5 does get us 120. Now, mathematicians, though, we do like to write this in a more simplified form. And the simplified form is going to look like is we're going to use exponents for it. So here I have 2 times 2 times 2. We can write that with an exponent of 3, 2 to the third. It's the same exact thing as 2 to the third, also means 2 times 2 times 2. And then I multiply it by 3, and then I multiply it by 5. And that is my prime factorization.